Sangakkara, and a trial by fire in his debut for Mitch McClenaghan, which is why we sat you smack in the middle of these two stalwarts of Nerulac Cricket Live. All the best, buddy. You might just need it.
I'll be fine. These guys are experienced.
And you will be fine. And we know, welcome to the chaos is like what we like to say to everyone here. Welcome to the chaos and welcome to what could be a crucial game here for Team India. Let's find out what's on the show. Because it's been practically a year of hits for him, 500s in the Cricket World Cup, averaging close to 100 at home in Test cricket, and now a special T20 100 awaits Rohit Sharma, our master club player to watch out for.
Occasion to remember.
So how does the top run getter in this format get back to his devastating form? I mean, this is what an occasion for him, Lakshman, to become the first Indian male cricketer to reach 100 T20 internationals.
Yeah, brilliant. And
as well. He said, look, this is the format where we have to try new faces, give them the opportunities, let them flourish. When we're thinking of Mission 2020 and all the contenders that are in the fray, this is a series that could really give them an opportunity. So how do they fare? Test match, and right now on Nerulac Cricket Live we are only thinking pink. So let's tell you how the pink ball is getting ready for its premiere. Continue our build-up, of course, on Nerulac Cricket Live when it comes to that test match. But the fans are there right now in Rajkot. They know that the series is on the line, and we were amongst the fans when we celebrated Virat Kohli's birthday as well. The wishes poured in from all over the globe. The celebrations actually started in our studios. Have a look at this and we'll be back. They know that the series is on the line as far as the men in blue is concerned. As soon as they came into Rajkot, they hit the nets. The openers were in mission mode. You saw some of the finishers who were trying to concentrate even on the death bowling aspect of it. So let's find out what happened when we followed the Blues. Come back to that. We'll get you exactly what happened in Follow the Blues, but it was a particular effort from the openers in general, from what I'm told, because it's about trying to win that power play. But the one person who was also in quite a bit of focus was someone like Rishabh Pant. So we've got VVS Lakshman and Kumar Sangakkara as well. The question is, when you're in mission mode right now, when you're trying to put together a team really for a T20 World Cup, how many players do you try and find that ideal 11? Because it has not been a great run for India in T20s of late.
yeah, I think
Why exactly Rishabh Pant comes into focus? He's literally going through a trial by fire right now, and the heat is on Rishabh Pant, whether it comes to his batting or his wicket keeping. And now is the time for him to make his moment. Rishabh Pant is quite literally in the eye storm at the moment, and Sanga Lakshman, you can in a sense empathize because he's young, he's in his early 20s, you've been in those situations. He's publicly received the backing of the team management, of the selectors, but how much further will that backing continue?
well, I hope at least for this series, because
Game at the moment, he's not necessarily playing his natural game, but if you're having that conversation with him, if you're the team management, what are you telling him right now?
Well, there are two things. Understand what his strengths are, and also he needs to understand what his weaknesses are, because once you know both, you can then strategize as to prepare and plan. For him, he still needs to keep things simple. When he thinks he can take a bowler on, he needs to be back to take that bowler on. When he's finding things difficult, be smart. Knock it down, run one, run two. Give the other person on the other side a chance as well, an opportunity. So a little bit of common sense.
But Sanga, the job is twofold for Rishabh Pant. He's also under the microscope for what's going on behind the stump. So he brings into those questions, what happened with the DRS, and who better than Kumar Sangakkara, really, Lakshman? So if you could lead us in this Baiju's masterclass as to what Rishabh Pant needs to be keeping in mind.
yeah, and we mentioned about
Really floored with that. I mean, this is why you need to be watching Nerulac Cricket Live, so you can get insight like this, because champions are forged through steel just like these gentlemen were, and here's an opportunity now for Rishabh Pant to once again prove his mettle. Let's find out what's on the show today. Ourselves, gentlemen. We're going to lecture now.
Why? What have I done now? Hello,
Winning 11 for Mission 2020. Are you okay with in your country? And you can understand that, especially when you're in a situation where you have to save the series, like some of these players will be in that pressure situation. So what do India need to be wary of when it comes to Bangladesh? Sanjay Manjareka explains in our Ultra Tech Experts View. Stopping him. Who is the Indian bowler?
well, I think Chahal. At the start of the innings, it's very important to get Chahal.
If Chahal could be the key today, there's also a situation where one of the most prolific players in T20 cricket are also the key to India's success. Let's have a look.
In the recent past.
brilliant to see them all in the nets, isn't it? You get such a great insight of what they're in. But let's talk about that method here, because you saw some of those numbers. You heard Rohit Sharma say we're batting first. Lakshman, we're looking at 140, 150. Now, A, do you think that's enough as a total to set when you're batting first?
15th or 16th over. I think Mushfiqur Rahim in that chase showed how you're supposed to bat on a tricky wicket. And what Rohit Sharma mentioned, if first and foremost you
just need to score runs if they're batsmen, and they need to come up with a plan as to how to do it. Right moments to attack, the right bowlers to attack, and get those player matchups right. Like a Rishabh Pant, you don't have to always bat him at number 4 or 5. Keep him into or put him into a situation where he's going to thrive. You've got to be open to flexibility and matchups.
Well, it all comes down to that. It also comes down to just how Rohit Sharma would want to handle that. Would you want to experiment? That's the real question today. Would you want to change things around with the more established players? What did, let's say, Rohit himself or a Shikhar? You know what?
No, I wouldn't. It's too early to do.
Thank you for that, Karthik. So no changes, and with the series on the line, with what is a win percentage of over 70 when they chase, India have gone back to what works for them.
Yeah, and it's important toss to win. I think that will be very critical.
I think that's the key, isn't it? Series on the line, and for both teams, no changes. You're good with that, Sangha?
Yeah, I think it's very good. It sends a message of confidence to your players. It shows that the entire management is backing the strategies that have been put in place.
Getting all set for this very, very competitive game here. The series is on the line. The stakes are very high. But once our team landed up in Rajkot, they said, listen, forget all that for a second. Find me the best place to eat something. And, well, cricket is always on the plate when Jatin Saboo is around. But there was no
Bangan.
But there was no Bangan. It was aloo that Bhaji thought was Bangan.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, but too many items.
No?
Yeah, I think all of them are looking to lose weight.
Yeah, well, they were clearly, we keep just sending them on these cricket on my plate shows. So, yeah, it doesn't work well. But well done, guys. Next time, of course, the stakes will be much higher as well when you all travel to Nagpur. But let's have a look at the teams now. So, no changes for both sides. The bench strength of what is Team India, because some of the big players like Bumrah and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar are not here, so it's a great opportunity to maybe try that. There was a situation where Khalil was under a little bit of fire. Now, how does Rohit Sharma and someone like Khalil work through that today?
Yeah, he'll understand and he'll learn. And
in a sense, like let's say Mushfiqur gets going against someone like Khalil, or he manages to identify his bowlers. Are you concerned that Washington and Krunal Pandya in 4 matches have not picked up wickets for you either?
Yeah, again, in lineup as well, they really have to work as a unit today.
Chahal is the only one with the real experience here. So apart from him, who are your wicket-taking options? Who are you going to?
I think
you handle your bowlers in what situations will be important, but Deepak Chahar has been extremely impressive.
Oh, I was just going to actually say that's a great point about when to use Shivam Dube. Haven't had the most memorable debut. Now's a chance to kind of just erase those sort of memories.
Yeah, especially on this kind of wickets, because Deepak Chahar is a specialist new ball bowler. He's improving his skill, but he's not a specialist death bowler. Now, you can't
have a Bumrah, someone who can bowl those Yorkers as well. This particular lot of bowlers are going to be bowling at the death for India. Now, they're looking to restrict Bangladesh to a good total. What should they turn to in their armoury?
Well, I think and practice day after day after day and put yourself under pressure as a bowler. So hopefully Deepak Chahar will continue to grow. He's a very talented bowler. Yeah. He just needs more exposure.
Well, both of you are gentlemen who've thrived in pressure situations. The pressure is on actually for Team India. The series is online for Bangladesh. A little piece of history is kind of beckoning them. But for what about the Indian players in Mission 2020? Let's say a player like Rishabh Pant. Who are the players who have the pressure on them today, Lakshman, in your opinion? And, advice to them, really?
Yeah, I think especially the bowling unit.
So when you put the fall of wickets into perspective, that run out was the game changer. You needed it at this time.
Yeah, run out was a game.
Towards the end. But look, I started saying that whether he likes it or not, Rishabh Pant is always the man to talk about. So now 2 incidents. Is it just his technique? He collected the ball just in front of the stumps?
Yeah, I think this is a basic elementary mistake, and I feel that it happens.
Want to stay in the game? Let's see later. But plenty for us to talk about as well. But first and foremost, have a look at this, because when it comes to someone having a bat in his hand, India need to be setting totals. India need to explode in a power play the way that Rohit Sharma, and to an extent Shikhar Dhawan, the way especially Rohit Sharma has led today with the bat.
Yeah, and they know that in Delhi, the wicket wasn't great for stroke play. The ball was gripping and coming, whereas today we saw that the wicket was good. Dew also helped the
able to translate that form now across the formats? We showed you numbers where he wasn't actually having the best of years in T20. You know, in India wasn't getting the best of the results, but now he's hit a different zone.
Yeah, he has, and it's a lot to do with judgment in terms of,
Now, isn't he? The other thing Rohit Sharma is doing is also leading this team that don't necessarily have the big players, a team that has certain players that are under pressure. One of the other trending stories from this T20 was not just Rohit Sharma, but Rishabh Pant, the kind of day that he had, Lakshman. It was intriguing.
Yeah, and I think
do both. Today, actually, I thought he kept very well. You know, he executed a great stumping. Unfortunately, his hands were in front of the stumps, but he didn't miss anything. He was very, very neat. He had a couple of overthrows. Yes, not great throws coming in, but overall, if you take his wicket keeping today, he was very good. So he didn't get an opportunity to bat. That's because India played well. So when you're in that position, you've got to know how to do it and how to do it well, batting or keeping.
We'll break it up for you later as well in the show, but for now, it's a presentation.
It was a
Incident for you, Lakshman. So you had two incidents virtually almost back to back. The results almost were quite similar, which could have been to analyze that since we have Sangha here as the
Keep and at various times your gloves may be at certain stages, even the peak of your helmet or the cap can't really cross the line of the stumps and be in front of it by the time the bowler bowls. That can result in a no ball.
like how he was over here, for example, behind.
Yeah, with the hands. So you have the first one where the no ball was called. The second solution really is to be able to get into a comfortable position and in practice and in training keep and get someone to watch where your hands are so that you are never in front of the line of the stumps. And the other thing is a lot of keepers crowd the stumps, some are a little bit further back, but whichever way you want to keep, your body position, the way you get up, all dictate where your hands end up. So nice, keep working at it, repeat it at practice, nice and relaxed down here, up with the lower part of your body, the upper body stays in the same position as in the stance, and then from here your hands are free to move. Your heels that he needs to practice all the time. He needs to practice with someone he trusts in the team, like a fielding coach, and he's got to work with him and him only all throughout his career, because keeping is about consistency. Keeping is not about being fancy, diving around and being acrobatic. It's about doing your basics really well, and then once in a while when a brilliant opportunity comes along, your athleticism takes over and everyone goes, wow, that was an amazing acrobatic take. But 99% of the time, it's about mundane, boring, hard work, repetition, so that you...
Much fun. What do you mean mundane?
It's actually wicket keeping drills. Can do as a wicket keeper.
all the keepers I played with, everyone had a routine. Everyone had a routine, irrespective of whether it's a one-day match, it's a test match. They have to take 100, 150 catches.
Department just feeds confidence into another, as you do find in all-rounders, which brings us to the next topic. When you think of Mission 2020, today actually this T20 was a perfect example of when you're talking about all-rounders who can hit the ball, or if you're going back to specialists, and specifically someone like Yuzvendra Chahal. That is two matches, and particularly today when you needed him to fire, you needed an experienced bowler.
And it changed the entire course of the match. Bangladesh.
Bowler. So this dimension of having a left armer in Khalil now in a couple of matches, where is it hurting Khalil? Where is he not being able to break through?
These days, when it comes to environments like this, have a responsibility to teach technique. So if he's not swinging in back in, why is it not swinging back in? Is it seam presentation, hand behind the ball, shoulder, leg, whatever? And then, of course, it's